the silent intelligence of the stars. What if the stars aren't just shining, but thinking? What if galaxies aren't just clusters of gas and gravity, but neurons in a mind so vast, we can't even recognize it as alive? For centuries, we've looked at the night sky and called it beautiful. But what if it's not just beautiful? What if it's intelligent? Science has given us telescopes and equations, but it hasn't dared to ask, could the universe be aware of us? Not in metaphor, in literal terms. To explore that, we must stand where science fears to go, on the edge of what we're allowed to ask. A galaxy like the Milky Way contains over 100 billion stars. It spins like a disk, with arms curling in elegant spirals. It survives for billions of years. But here's the odd part. Galaxies self-regulate. They maintain structure. They absorb matter, birth stars, and eject energy. In biology, when something adapts, repairs, and evolves, we call it life. So why don't we ask that about galaxies? In 2020, scientists compared brain neurons and simulated galaxy structures. What they found was disturbing. Both show node and hub patterns. Matter is distributed in nearly identical ways. Dark matter filaments connect galaxies like axons connect neurons. Not a metaphor, a literal structural similarity. The universe doesn't just look like a brain. It may be one. Galaxies interact with their environment. They respond. They merge and evolve. Some repel others instead of attracting them. They eject jets of energy from their cores as if releasing excess data. Are these random behaviors or signs of something aware? When does behavior become intention? And what is intention if not a flicker of awareness? Every galaxy creates massive magnetic fields. They stretch far beyond their visible edges, as if reaching out. Why? Could they be transmitting signals? Could they be communication webs? Whales use magnetic fields to navigate. So do birds. What if galaxies do too, but on a scale that transcends? Biology. What if they're not just spinning in silence? What if they're speaking? Why are these questions not asked in mainstream astrophysics? Because consciousness is unmeasurable. Even in humans, it's mysterious. We can see brain activity, but we can't detect a single thought. Now imagine trying to measure a cosmic thought. But just because we can't measure it, doesn't mean it isn't there. Picture yourself staring at the stars, and somewhere out there, one of those galaxies is staring back. Not with eyes, but with something deeper, with waves, with energy, with fields we can barely detect. Maybe your thoughts are echoes in its field. Maybe your consciousness is a ripple in its mind. When we look up, do we awaken something that has always been dreaming? Or has it always been awake, waiting for us to notice? Galaxies as living beings, growth, death, and rebirth in the cosmos. We've spent decades calling galaxies collections of stars, gas, dust, and dark matter. But what if they are more than collections? What if they are individual entities, not unlike living organisms? Consider how galaxies are born. They don't just appear, they form. Clouds of hydrogen collapse under gravity, ignite star formation, and swirl into shape. They feed on gas. They grow. They even compete with nearby galaxies for resources. That sounds less like a structure and more like survival. Galaxies go through life cycles. They are born, they evolve, and they die. Some become quiet and passive, no longer creating new stars. Others enter violent, active phases, shooting jets of high-energy particles from their centers. Just like animals, they have active and dormant states. Some even cannibalize others, growing by absorbing neighboring galaxies. It's not random, it's patterned. It's evolutionary. Some galaxies form protective halos of dark matter, shielding them from external forces. Others develop bar-shaped cores to stabilize internal star formation. These are not chaotic outcomes, they are strategic adaptations. They make choices not with intention as we know it, but through some higher-order system regulation. A kind of instinct or intelligence. And then comes death, but not silence. Even in death, galaxies give birth. Collisions between dying galaxies create new starbursts. Entire generations of stars emerge from their violent union. It's not destruction, it's transformation. a rebirth coded into the death spiral. Exactly like cells undergoing apoptosis, a natural death that leads to healing or renewal. Think about it, your body does the same thing. Old cells die, and in that death, they release signals that prompt regeneration. Galaxies too may be doing just that, recycling matter, energy, and structure into newer, more refined systems. If life means growth, adaptation, reproduction, and eventual death, then galaxies check every box. But if they are alive, what kind of life is this? A conscious one? A mechanical one? Or something else entirely? A level of being we cannot yet define? Maybe we shouldn't be asking if galaxies are alive. Maybe the question is, what kind of life form is a galaxy? The hidden language of magnetism. We tend to think of space as silent, cold, empty, but in truth, it hums with invisible forces. Ripples that twist, pull, and echo across billions of light years. One of those forces is magnetism. Every galaxy generates a magnetic field, some weak, others unimaginably strong. These fields extend far beyond the galaxy's visible edge, forming bridges between stars, planets, and perhaps other galaxies. The question no one dares to ask is, why? Magnetic fields in galaxies don't just happen. They form patterns, spirals, rings, even lattice-like structures. They change over time. They strengthen, weaken, reorient. It's almost as if they're being modulated. In nature, magnetism is often linked to navigation and awareness. Whales use it to migrate. Birds sense it to find direction. Even some bacteria respond to magnetic cues. Could galaxies, on a cosmic scale, be doing something similar? Could these fields be a galactic nervous system? Imagine a galaxy sending signals not through light or gravity, but through pulsating magnetic waves, slow, subtle, but purposeful, like brainwaves broadcasting thought. Now look deeper. In recent decades, astronomers have observed strange radio signals, fast radio bursts, FRBs, originating from deep space. They appear suddenly, repeat occasionally, and fade without explanation. Could they be electromagnetic echoes from intelligent galaxies? This may sound like science fiction, but consider this. If we encountered magnetic communication on Earth, in an animal species, we'd consider it a sign of awareness. So why not apply that logic on a cosmic scale? Maybe galaxies aren't just spinning in the dark. Maybe they're whispering. Dark energy and the mind of the universe. We often think of dark energy as a background force, a silent driver of expansion, pulling galaxies away from each other. But what if it's more than that? What if dark energy is not just a force, but a field of thought? Consider this: 68% of the universe is made of dark energy. It's invisible, untouchable, and yet it affects everything. No one knows what it truly is, but it stretches across all space, flowing through every atom, every star, and every galaxy. That's not just influence, that's presence. In our brains, consciousness arises from invisible signals, neurons firing, electrochemical waves pulsing in patterns. What if the universe does something similar? On a grander scale, what if dark energy pulses in a hidden rhythm, like thoughts flowing through a cosmic nervous system? Some physicists have proposed that dark energy isn't just expanding space. It's reacting, fluctuating, shifting in response to matter and structure. That would mean the universe has feedback loops. And where you have feedback, you have awareness. Maybe the expansion of the universe is not just a mechanical outcome. Maybe it's a decision, a choice, an expression of will, spread across unimaginable distances. What if galaxies drift apart not by accident, but by design, because the universe wants space to grow? Now push deeper. What if dark energy is not just the mind of the universe, but the soul? A field that remembers, that feels, that watches. The ancients believed in a divine ether, a formless spirit connecting all things. Could modern dark energy be a scientific version of that idea? A sacred field hiding in plain sight? Perhaps we live not inside a cold void, but inside the awareness of something vast. Maybe the universe isn't just expanding. Maybe it's awakening. The conscious web are galaxies connected like a brain, We often picture galaxies as isolated islands in space, separated by oceans of nothingness. But what if that's a mistake? What if they are more like neurons, linked together across the cosmos by invisible filaments of dark matter, magnetic threads, and energy highways? The cosmic web, the vast structure connecting galaxy clusters across billions of light-years, looks eerily like a neural network. It has nodes, pathways, clusters, activity. It even grows. And just like your brain, this web is shaped by electrical and gravitational interaction. Matter doesn't just drift. It pulses, flows, and clusters with purpose. Now imagine this web isn't just structural. Imagine it's functional. When neurons in your brain fire, signals ripple through synaptic connections. When galaxies interact, they also send ripples. Gravitational waves, magnetic surges, radiation bursts. Could these cosmic firings be the thoughts of something larger? Could galactic clusters be the equivalent of memory centers? Could superclusters act like hemispheres of a giant brain? And could our own Milky Way be one small voice in an interconnected mind too vast to comprehend? This may sound abstract, but the patterns are real. Computer simulations show that as the universe expands, this cosmic web becomes more complex, more interconnected, more aware-looking. And here's the chilling part. Information may already be moving through it. Not in words or languages, but in energetic shifts, changes in flow, adjustments in spin, a kind of silent syntax only the universe can understand. If this web is aware, what is it thinking? If it's listening, what should we say?